And now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akuga as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akuga.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Some residents of Ondo State are calling on the government to urgently equip security agencies in the state with modern surveillance tools and operational equipment to help curb the rising wave of criminal activities. The residents, while speaking with Inside the Niger Delta in Akure, the state capital, stressed the need for better logistical and financial support for local vigilante groups, especially the Amotekun Corps, to boost grassroots security efforts and restore peace across affected communities.
Ondo State, fondly called the Sunshine State, is located in the southwest of Nigeria, but it's also part of the oil-rich Niger Delta. That's because two of its coastal local government areas, Ilaje and Eshodo, are rich in hydrocarbon deposit, making it the only predominantly Yoruba-speaking state in the Niger Delta. Beyond oil, Ondo is also blessed with solid minerals and fertile land that support large-scale farming. The state is especially known for crops like cocoa, oil palm, cassava, rubber, mango, and rice. But despite these natural blessings, residents have recently been grappling with a disturbing rise in crime and insecurity. Attacks often blamed on armed herders have forced many people to flee from their communities and abandon their homes and means of livelihood. In response, residents have staged several protests demanding urgent action. Even students have taken to the streets, voicing concerns over the growing cases of kidnapping and armed robbery in their communities. Last week, Inside the Niger Delta spoke with some residents of Akure, the Ondo State capital, to get their views on the state of security following the recent deployment of a new commissioner of police.
Ondo State used to be the safest state in the Niger Delta region before now, but because of security breaches, then we started witnessing kidnapping, other SAMAS clashes. But with the proactiveness of the CP, Amotekun, and other security agencies, they were able to stem the tide.
The police, the Amotekun, the Nigerian Army, the NSA, they say, all of them, they were working together, including the vigilante groups and the hunters, all of them. There is an existing synergy between them, among them rather, that is actually, helping.
While the conventional police and the state security outfit known as Amotekun seem to be making some progress, residents say it's not enough. They insist that more must be done to restore full peace and allow everyone to go about their daily lives without fear or intimidation.
The state government should equip this security agents with modern equipment so that everybody will sleep and with his two eyes closed. And those farmers too, in those villages too, they have to be secured. They have to be protected.
The state government that we shouldn't play politics with the life of people in their states, particularly in Ondo State.
Meanwhile, the new commissioner of police in Ondo State, Adebowale Lawal, upon resumption in the state, called on residents to work closely with the police to tackle the security challenges in the state.
Because security is not sole responsibility of police. The areas where we need to address, where we need to strategize, has brushed me, and we're going to work on those areas.
To the people of Ondo State, security is more than just law enforcement. It's a lifeline for livelihoods, agricultural growth, and the overall stability of the economy.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri says community action at the grassroots level is crucial in tackling the menace of drug trafficking and abuse in the state. The governor, who was represented by his deputy Senator Lawrence Erujakbo, stated this last week during an event held to commemorate the 2025 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking in the state capital, Yenagoa.
Bayelsa State Drug Abuse Addiction Prevention and Rehabilitation Community, BADAPAC, last week organized a sensitization program against drug abuse and illicit drug trade in the oil-rich state. The program, which had the theme Breaking the Chains, Prevention, Treatment and Recovery for All, came on the heels of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, celebrated worldwide every 26th of June. The event brought together top government officials, medical experts, security personnel, young people, and other key stakeholders across the state. In his address, Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri, who was represented by his deputy, Senator Lawrence Erujakbo, said the solution to breaking the chains of drug abuse in Nigeria is when both the production and supply chain of harmful substances are interrupted.
Sometimes we treat the symptoms of the problem and don't treat the root of the problem. We have always dealt with punishment of offenders. We have not dealt with destroying the source of production. So we must concentrate our efforts to destroy the source of production and also see how we can use social media to fight the war against enticement that goes on in the social media.
Senator Erujakbo also revealed that the state government is working round the clock to end drug abuse through policy reform, public enlightenment campaigns, and institutional support. He, however, called on the NDLEA to establish offices in all local government areas, particularly in communities with high prevalence rates.
Do we have local government offices of NDLEA? That is where we need to push to. Because people usually don't fear anything that doesn't have consequences. People fear anybody that can give them consequences.
The keynote speaker at the event, Professor Wilson Ehon, who is also the first professor of pharmacy administration in West Africa, underscored the importance of professionals.
All medicines are drugs, but not all drugs are medicine. And substance abuse occurs when a person uses a substance in a way that is not supposed to be used. And misuse is simply not following the prescription. You have a prescription, instead of following it, you do something else. That is misuse. Or using the medicine to treat an unrelated condition. Every medicine is a potential poison and should be used as recommended by a qualified health practitioner. Every medicine is a potential poison.
Other dignitaries present at the event from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, and the National Agency for Food and Drug Control, NAFDAC, reiterated the need for urgent collective and sustainable action to combat what they described as the hydra-headed monster of drug abuse threatening the health and security of communities in Bayelsa State and beyond.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Managing Director of Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, has assured the people of Bonny Island in Rivers State that the 27.1-kilometer Bonny Ring Road and Bridges project will be completed by the first quarter of 2027. Dr. Ogbuku gave the assurance last week during an inspection of construction work on the project completed by the NDDC in partnership with Nigeria LNG Limited, NLNG.
Originally awarded in 2010, the 27-kilometer road consisting of 13 bridges was designed to connect Bonny Island, a hub of oil and gas activities, to surrounding communities and local government areas in Rivers State. For years, the project suffered delays, forcing residents to rely on costly and often dangerous experience of commuting through the waterways. However, relief and help are now within sight as the NDDC, under the leadership of its Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, is now partnering with Bonny-based Nigeria NLNG
to deliver the project. Over the weekend, Dr. Obuku and his team were on the ground in Bonny to inspect the recommencement of the project. They, however, first paid a courtesy visit to the Bonny monarch, King Edward Asimini William Dapa Pepo III, where community leaders stressed the importance of the road to their people.
For our people to go from Bonny into the villages, we have to paddle. Then the distance is not too much. But I believe that your inspection here today will throw more light to what we've been going through.
By the grace of God, that road is coming up, the Bonny Budo Road. But sir, permit me also to tell you that that road will not mean much to us if we do not have the new road. I'm telling you the truth. Because it just be a one-way drive and everything will just empty here. Thank God today, sir, that by providence, you're on the saddle. I want to believe that we will not be disappointed again.
Responding to the people, Dr. Obuku reiterated that the current NDDC board is not just focused on delivering projects, but also committed to engaging meaningfully with communities. He said this will help the commission identify and execute projects that directly meet the needs of the people.
For us, we are here to serve the people. And serving the people, we must serve the people better. Because this NDDC that you see, we work based on needs assessment. In the first 25 years of the NDDC, if the Bonny Kingdom never benefited, maybe in the next chapter, Bonny Kingdom might be one of the biggest beneficiaries of NDDC. I'm coming here today, I believe we are opening a new chapter of prosperity of NDDC and Bonny Kingdom relationship that will bring about more development to this kingdom.
The team then went to the project's heavy downpour to see for themselves the level of work on the project.
Under the President Tinubu's administration, this project, we are assuring the people of Bonny Kingdom that it's not going to be abandoned again. Coming into Bonny today, we can see how flooded the community is. So also in handling the flooding situation, which have to do with constructing of drains. With proper drain channels, we believe the flooding will be a challenge of the past.
We see him as an active managing director and not an armchair MD. We believe that the commit palace to complete the job.
Beyond inspecting projects, Dr. Obuku said the visit was also to inform the people of Bonny Kingdom that as part of NDDC's 25th anniversary celebrations, the commission will be naming its new headquarters building after Harold Dapabirie in honor of the late elder statesman known for his strong advocacy for the Niger Delta even before Nigeria's independence.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Hooray! NDDC is 25.
Join us as we celebrate 25 remarkable years.
Sunday, 6th of July 2025, Thanksgiving service, Ondo State.
Monday, 7th July, World Press Briefing and Movie Premiere, Asaba Delta State.
Wednesday, 9th July, Youth and Women's Conference, Owerri, Imo State.
Thursday, 10th July, Art and Culture Day, Rivers State.
Saturday, 12th July, Grand Finale, Plenary Session and Gala Night in Port Harcourt, River State.
NDDC, 25 years of making a difference in the Niger Delta.
Signed, Alabo Honorable Boma Iyaye Esquire, DSSRS, EDFA, NDDC, and Chairman, 25 years Anniversary Central Planning Committee.
Ezekiel Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Ezekiel Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori says his administration is committed to transforming the state's public service through robust human capital development and investment in modern technology that will aid effective service delivery in the state. The governor made this known last week in the Government House in Asaba during an event to mark the 2025 Civil Service Celebration Week in the state.
The leadership of the Delta State Civil Service last week organized a series of events to celebrate the 2025 Public Service Week in the state. This includes a public lecture at the Unity Hall of Government House in the capital city, with the theme 5 years to 2030, accelerating public service delivery for a sustainable future. The governor of the state, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriowori, and his deputy, Sir Monde Onyeme, were amongst other dignitaries present at the event.
The significant investment in human capital development and the various welfare schemes introduced by this administration are a testament to our resolve to motivate and empower our workforce. You need to compare what we have done in terms of the minimum wage. Go and see what other states have done.
Governor Oboriowori went on to sue for the support of all and sundry in the state, noting that there is a lot the administration is doing and it can only succeed with the support of both civil servants and ordinary citizens in the state.
So you must continue to commit yourself to the policies and programs of this administration, because we need to do well, and at the end there are things to show for all we are doing.
The state head of service, Dr. Mininim Oseji, assured the governor of their unwavering support in implementing the administration's plans, policies and projects. She also commended the governor for his clear commitment to the welfare and well-being of both civil servants and ordinary Deltans.
I'm confident, Your Excellency, that with sustained transparency and improved security, we'll be able to attract more foreign investors, foreign tourists, promote inward medical and educational tourism, and propel Delta State to become the Nigerian version of Dubai in the next 6 years.
In another development, residents of Oko Amakom and Oko Obiakpu communities in Oshimili South Local Government area of the state have commended the governor for the ongoing construction of the 4.7-kilometer road project in their area.
Before, it's not good now. They enjoy it now.
The people made this known last week during an inspection visit by the Delta State Commissioner for Works, Highways and Urban Road, Honorable Ruben Izezi. According to them, the project is not only easing their commuting experience, but also boosting local businesses and economic activities in the area. The team also inspected the completed Onora Ife-Sinachi Street and Aaron Ndubisi Mbani Street road networks in Asaba.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has delivered food items and relief materials to the people of Otuasega and Oruma in Ogbea local government area of Bayelsa State. According to the commission, the gesture is part of its mandate to ease the burdens of the people by meeting their immediate needs, while also working to build critical infrastructure that will drive long-term development across communities in the oil-rich region.
In April this year, the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, visited Otuasega in Bayelsa State, where she inaugurated several projects undertaken by the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The projects are the rehabilitated Otuasega Cottage Hospital and the newly built secondary school in the community. The First Lady also flagged off the region-wide NDDC Renewed Hope 2025 free medical outreach, while also promising that the NDDC, in partnership with her Renewed Hope initiative, would support the people of Otuasega with food items and relief materials to cushion the impact of the economic hardship on them. Last week, the NDDC team returned to fulfill that promise, delivering food supplies and other relief materials to residents of Otuasega.
Every child in Otuasega Secondary School, totaling about 885 children, they all have school bags, lunch boxes, masset, in continuation of that First Lady's visit to give succor to the people of Otuasega and Oruma.
The distribution also extended to nearby Oruma community, where residents also received their share of the relief items.
For what I've experienced in NDDC in these days, we have never experienced it in the history of NDDC in this country. And I also encourage that they should not stop, they should continue, and we are also behind them, and the God of our forefathers are also behind them.
This one is so great that we've not seen this kind of palliative that is so much this time around, and we are very much happy with the NDDC.
Back in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, communities surrounding the corporate headquarters of the NDDC were the latest beneficiaries of the Commission's free medical outreach. The 3-day program, which took place at the NDDC Event Center, formerly known as Holy Kings Event Center, offered both basic and specialized healthcare services to residents of Idangoama and Loloama communities.
Many people come today without paying kobo. It's not easy in Nigeria at this particular period.
We would say thank you, NDDC, for organizing this program. We are grateful. Thank you very much. Yes.
I benefit too. They've given me a glass, which I like it.
Speaking on the initiative, Dr. Anthony Emezurike, a director from the Department of Health and Social Services at the NDDC, said the outreach was specially organized as part of activities marking the 25th anniversary of the Commission.
We are doing this as a way of giving back to the host community where NDDC headquarters reside. It's our own way of saying that we appreciate you and we're glad that you are with us and you accommodated us. And so what we're basically doing here is to offer basically essential healthcare services, okay? And then we also have specialist care because of the NME component that is also being offered here. And then we're testing the medical hub. There's a medical equipment behind us there. So we're testing it here. If it serves well under such pressures, then we can look at future plans of possibly deploying it in the Niger Delta states to help with healthcare services delivery.
Inside the Niger Delta.
As global attention on sickle cell disease continues to gather momentum, medical experts and stakeholders across the Niger Delta region are calling for stronger collaboration and urgent action from both the government and private sector to boost prevention, treatment and control of this serious public health challenge. The experts who expressed concern over the rising cases of sickle cell disease in rural communities also called for more awareness and sensitization to help people better understand and manage the condition.
To a layperson, the mention of the term sickle cell could immediately refer to pain, frequent illness, and repeated hospital visits. And more often than not, especially in rural communities, including the oil-rich Niger Delta region, people associate this condition with diabolic undertones and other rather unjustifiable traditional and philosophical causes.
It will surprise you that we don't have data of those that have died by misinformation. They might think it's punishment from the gods. They might think it's environmental pollution. The most important thing is genetic, and it has to do with a mutation that is called a point mutation, and it's hereditary.
Data from the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, a non-governmental organization dedicated to the prevention of and raising awareness on sickle cell in Nigeria, suggests that Nigeria has one of the highest prevalences of the disease globally. About 2 to 3% of the population has the disease, with about 150,000 newborns affected yearly and 50 million people carrying the sickle cell trait. Dr. Ekripo also explained the difference between a carrier of the trait and an actual person with the disease, often referred to in the popular genotype as AS and SS.
If you have that disorder in that your gene, and if it is like dominant, they would say you have sickle cell. But if it is maybe you have just one of those in the 4, you are said to be a carrier. So in that case, you hear people saying the person is AS.
Available data also shows that half of children born with the genetic condition die before they are 5 years old, and those who cross this hurdle have a life expectancy of just about 21, often with frequent health complications. To raise awareness on this genetical condition, the United Nations set aside June 19 of every year as World Sickle Cell Awareness Day. It is a day when different events are organized to increase public knowledge and understanding of sickle cell disease and the challenges experienced by patients and their families and carriers all over the world. During some of these events across the states in the oil-rich Niger Delta, medical experts and sickle cell warriors harped on the need for early diagnosis, routine screening, genotype awareness, and premarital counseling as critical tools in curbing the spread of the disease.
Newborn diagnosis, early infant diagnosis, preconception diagnosis, prenatal diagnosis are all very necessary.
Let's discourage. If you are a carrier of disease, you are heirs, getting married to heirs, we should discourage it. I know the issue of love may come in, but if you see the challenge that comes in with when you have a sickle cell anemic patient, it can really be very challenging.
It will be recalled that the Nigerian Senate in 2021 passed the Sickle Cell Prevention, Control and Management Bill to tackle the disease. But over 4 years later, the bill is yet to receive the approval of the president. Regretting this development, public health advocates charge all stakeholders, including policymakers, to heed the urgency of addressing the sickle cell disease.
We've done well. Thumbs up to every person who have brought us to this point, honestly speaking from the depth of my heart. But there is much more. There is more to conquer. Right ahead of us, there is more to conquer.
While there seems to be some progress in treating sickle cell disease, such as the hematopoietic transplantation and gene therapy, they are both costly and inaccessible to most Nigerians given the country's lower middle income status. Therefore, as the search continues for a more affordable and permanent cure, awareness, compassion, and collective responsibility remain the strongest tools in the fight against sickle cell disease.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screens. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria. Until next week, I am Mahmoud Akuga thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.